Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, melodies. No, you are not seeing things. We're doing it properly. When I'm recording this, it is currently, 5 p.m. on Wednesday afternoon? I got my recording stuff done really early today, and I got essentially everything I wanted to get done today done really early as well. And I'm still feeling really productive. And well, when this goes live, it'll be Sunday. And Sundays, as you know, I typically take off. I haven't recently because we had the viewer requests to do, but we're going to just kind of pre-record some stuff. Well, just this kind of. We'll pre-record it and then we'll have a schedule for Sunday, so you'll have something to watch over the weekend. And yeah, I'm tremendously excited because this has come highly recommended from so many of you in the comments over the past 3 or 4 BTOB videos we've been doing. We checked out Blooming Day and we checked out Higher through viewer requests. Those were absolutely amazing. The Song was one of my favorite ballads of the year last year. And then, of course, we checked out Friend, the last OT7 B2B song. We checked out Minhyuk Solo. I may get into that on my own time later down the road, but we have the album to check out. So, if you are here for the long haul, get comfortable, grab yourself a snack, some drinks, do whatever you need to do, and let's get into it. If you want to skip ahead to a certain song, the timeline below is going to be chapter based off of what song we're listening to, as I do with all of my album listens. So, if you're looking for a specific song, then go ahead and skip ahead. If you're in for the long haul, let's just transition over to the big screen. Here we go. I know we've checked out Blooming Day, and I know we've checked out Higher, but we're just going to listen to them again, because it's been a hot minute, and, I love both songs. So, here we go. We're going to start with the intro and go all 12 songs. The lyric video is coming courtesy of De Melrose B2B subs. Thank you very much for being the reliable lyric video source when it comes to B2B. So, here we go. Intro, The Trace. You can't see anything. There we go. Wow, this intro is loud. Okay. Apologies if that blew out your ears just now. Super atmospheric, kind of like taking you through the seasons a little bit. With the snow, we got spring rain, summer. We had the crunching leaves of the autumn, and now we're back into the snow. Ooh. What a mood setter that was. Admittedly, I only know 3 songs off the album, but this doesn't really give anything away, which is really smart of an intro to do, because it sets the tone and it sets the mood for the album, but it doesn't give away what the album is going to sound like, and I think that's really important. And typically, intros don't often get a lot of attention, I think. There have been some recent intros that have just been absolute heat for me. Like Yuju's debut, Bad Blood was amazing, and I still wish that was a full length song and not just an intro. Le Seraphim's World is My Oyster from their debut EP. DC always does a really good intro, but intros are kind of those songs where you just kind of listen to them once and it's like, okay, cool, but you don't really go see yourself going back to them. With this, I feel like this you couldn't really listen to on its own because there isn't too much of a musical element to it. It's really pretty, don't get me wrong, but it is really atmospheric and environmental in a non-musical way and more of like a place setting kind of way. And while it really works for like an album listen, it doesn't really work on a standalone, like on its own. But this, knowing what the song is going to sound like and the way it ties into it, I think is really clever. Because you do kind of go through that entire like year-round like seasonal wheel, and then of course the song is set in that super wintry scene, really pretty. So it makes sense. Standalone, maybe not so much, but kind of like an extended intro into the song works really well. Speaking of, wait, hold up. There should have been a lyric video here. Give me 2 seconds. You know what? Turns out they didn't actually have one for the song. It still wasn't on the playlist, and I couldn't find one when they were looking it up. So we'll give you a little special treat. We'll watch the MV again as well. But we'll enjoy the music as well. We'll focus on the music primarily, but here we go. I really hope I can get names right. And if I can even remember everyone's names. And it's got that kind of same, like, record scratch vibe to it already, doesn't it? Already it's so musically interesting because we've got some really funky chords going on. It's that pairing of Seungjae's high voice and then Minhyuk's low tone. It's the perfect juxtaposition of the two. Oh, the way Hyunshik adds and takes away power throughout his phrase. And then Eunhwan's like really open high head voice is so magical. He's got a very unique open mouth, like high head voice as well. It's just offset so well once you get Minhyuk on the song, because his voice is just low. It's just naturally much lower. And then add the fact that he's able to both rap and sing as well, adds that second layer of his voice. What up, Neil? And then again, it's pairing Hyunshik's voice with a stylistically very different voice, creating that contrast. Take the harmony up instead of down. What's going on, bud? Oh, and the way he just transitions into the rap verse is so smooth because you don't notice it at all. I still remember the goosebumps I felt once this final chorus started the first time I heard it. On the way they let Chang's voice, just his voice on its own, finish the song is so pretty. Oh, always been a hot minute since I heard that song, and boy, does it hit as hard as I remember it hitting. Ooh, it's just a really good ballad. It's balanced really well. Like, it's got elements to where it does kind of pick up the energy a little bit, not in like that like heart pumping type of energy, but it really rides on that like emotional ballad energy, especially the flourishes in the chorus. It really does what a ballad needs to do, and the way it just swells, and the way it swells, but it's not like overwhelming in a way, and it's just really nice and gentle, and everyone's vocals just fits exactly what the song needs. Like, especially Minhyuk and Peniel. Like, even though they are kind of like your designated rappers in a way, they still have the ability to get really melodic with it, and because their voices are naturally kind of lower, or they're more comfortable in that lower register, those two members are so key in offsetting the rest of the song, because everyone else's vocals are pretty high, all things considered. Eunwon's voice is pretty high. Well, it's ridiculously high. Hyunsik's voice is high. Seungjae's voice can go really high, and then Changsup can go high when he needs to. Like, you need that lower end to offset it. And essentially, like, from the one song I heard during OT7, like, Ilhoon had that really low tone, and then you had Minhyuk and Peniel just above in like vocal register-ish, where they were, now that they're six, them two are the ones holding down the bottom end of the song. And it fits so well because they're not forcing them to sing 100% of their lines, but they're also not like shoehorning in a rap verse. All the rap verses feel really natural through the song, because it's like led in with a little bit more like the lower melodic section. It doesn't feel out of place, and for a ballad, that's so important, especially for a rapping section within a ballad, because rapping and ballads typically don't mix all that well together. They do on occasion. This is one really good example of it, but not all the time do rap sections in a ballad work. But the way they've tied it in so naturally here just makes everything feel so seamless. Oh, it's been a hot minute, and I absolutely adore this. Okay, let's hop on back to the lyric videos one time. Here we go. And we're back over here. So we've listened to Blooming Day already. That was, I think, the first BTOB request we did, if I remember correctly. I don't actually remember how we got started on this whole BTOB train. I'm genuinely like trying to remember how we got here, and I don't. I don't know. I forget if it was just literally we had a viewer request to check out BTOB, and that's how it all started, or if we checked out someone from BTOB beforehand, and that kind of just like got the snowball rolling. But this was the first of the viewer requests that we checked out. Been a hot minute. Well, I haven't listened to it since, so here we go. Also, a 13-track album, and well, 11 plus an intro and an outro. That is a long album. Okay, so it looks like it was just the intro that was really loud. Yeah, I can kick up the volume a little bit. And of course, this was a song that gave me a nightmare with the lyric videos way back in the day. Good memories. That head voice flip is so slick. And that transition into the melodic is so smooth. That like 3-step transition is so seamless. sustain. Bring it back in. Perfect amount of ebbs and flows in this. Unlike a piece of like music ledger, this song would flow so nice. It'd be so easy to read. Because it's such a natural progression throughout the song with the way like the melody flows and the way the volume changes. Love a pop culture reference. I forget if I mentioned this in the first time when we listened to this, but now that we've heard it after the song, the title is so much more appropriate because it genuinely does feel like a blooming flower in a way. Like it's a lot brighter. The key it's written is a lot brighter. The song flows a lot brighter. It sparkles a little bit more. Oh, and that's such a wide vibrato that Hyunshik puts on there. Lord Almighty. Yeah, that final chorus is something magical. It genuinely does feel like it's like the entire song just feels like that first like bud, like growing out through the muddy like top surface, maybe growing a little bit through the snow that's left, and then finally once that key change hits and there's like that 5-part harmony, which is bonkers. Like you have one main vocal part and then 4 background harmonies. Psh, that's a deep harmony right there. That's a really deep harmony. Oh man, I'm now having the thought about what this would sound like live, or no, even better, a cappella. Oh, has BTOB ever done any a cappella stuff before? If they have, link me some stuff below because I'd love to watch that. But yeah, that final chorus, once it hits the key change, does feel like a flower sprouting. Oh, what a pretty song. Okay, we're into the first of the new stuff. Be Together. Hyunshik on main composition, with Minhyuk and Peniel on the lyrics. Love to see members getting involved as per usual. I wonder if Hyunshik prefers a more piano-oriented song. Because I noticed, like, he did the intro as well, and he does... I feel like whenever I'm listening to any, or at least on this album, any Hyunshik song really emphasizes, like, piano and piano-based chords. Nice build. Is that his, like, instrument of choice, usually? It wasn't Mark, but there's a harmony back there. That was a short interlude, but I like that. Also, the song's in triple meter. I didn't clock that at first. It's really smooth for a triple meter song. It's a quick 3. It might be in 6, actually. Call and response into the 2-part harmony. I'm loving the love that the instrument, the orchestra is getting in the background. Take it into a new key, okay. What an interesting way to pair that section. We might talk about that after we're done here. Oh, that part got spicy. Give me another key change. Alright, Eunkwang, now you're just showing off. Oh, actually, this song could be in 4 as well. That was almost 4.5 minutes. Oh my. Oh, I was vibing along with it too. I didn't realize it was this long. Okay. Ooh. Now, I think I remember somebody commenting about how this song was like, is this the wedding song that someone commented about? Because this is giving, like, especially the lyrics, definitely giving off big, heavy wedding vibes. Also, the song, too. It's got that, like, uplifting energy to it. It's another one of those songs where it can be taken in both triple meter and in standard meter, which is really interesting, because it's a really nice, slow standard meter, or it's a really quick triple meter song. Both works. Listening to the album, like, I know we're only 4 songs in. 4 out of, what, 13? Oh my goodness. But I still remember my very first time finding out about BTOB, and it was on Kingdom. And of course, I think they were what BTOB for you back then, right? Because they didn't have everyone. And admittedly, I wasn't like as open-minded of a multi as I am now, so I didn't really like follow them all that closely during the show. I liked their stage performance and stuff, but the one like turning point for me with BTOB was Mayfly's performance of IU's Love Poem. Like, Eunkwang, Jungho, and Seungmin was an absolutely unbelievable trio to cover a song as powerful as IU's Love Poem was. And just, I still remember hearing Eunkwang pop off on the vocals like that and just being absolutely gobsmacked by it. And Well, look at us now. So long time since then, but holy vocals. This song is nuts. I don't even remember what part I want to talk about anymore. Oh, Peniel's rap verse. Here we go. Not many groups will layer vocals in the background of a rap section, because it's kind of like clashing styles in most cases. I think what's interesting about the Peniel's rap verse in particular from Be Together is the fact that it doesn't really come across as a rap verse all that much. Quite interesting. Just, I don't know what it is about it, because it's very much just a rap verse, but it doesn't come across as one. Admittedly, the background like little vocals do help, and I think it's because his voice has been filtered quite a bit. But like engineering aside, it does feel like just a vocal part. Let me see if it keeps going. Okay, so there's a bit of tonality to it now. Yeah, it just really feels like a low vocal part more than a rap verse, and I think it works in its favor here. Cool. I like that one. Okay, next up, My Way. Hyushik again, and then also piano again. So yeah, I'm starting to think that Hyushik's like kind of like go-to instrument when he's composing or arranging is the piano, which I quite like because you can get some really interesting chords out of piano. Early rap verse from Peniel. I'm talking touchdowns, you're talking goals. Long verse from Peniel. Like Frank Sinatra did it my way. Like Frank Sinatra, I did it my way. Nice callback. Love that reference. Like that call and response on the post-chorus. Oh, Hyushik flexing the low vocals this time. Very appropriately titled song for like the feeling it gives off. It definitely is kind of like a I'm walking my own road type of vibe. And I mean, that is kind of like the message of the song, so, but it's absolutely perfect fit. Nice way of bringing it, finishing it, capping it off with a little melodic element there. I think different. Going my way. Holy ad-libs. Ooh, B2B really went and said, "Hey, you want some soul with that?" Ooh, ooh, I like that. Little, picking up the energy a little bit, getting kind of big band with it. I can dig it. It's different from the rest of the album so far. Like, we've started with a pretty like melancholic album, and then we've slowly started building the energy up. Like, Blooming Day was like a brighter ballad version of the song. Be Together was kind of like a brighter version of Blooming Day. And then My Way, while it doesn't necessarily mean brighter, but it's definitely got more energy behind it. I like that natural progression that we have going on here. Also, the vocal ad-libs on this song are kind of wild, and especially you, Mr. Hyunshik, in the back there. Sungjae too. Ooh, boy. Wild things. Absolutely wild things. Okay, next song. Whiskey. Alright, so what type of music did you write this time? This is definitely different. I hear that descending vocal harmony back there. Hyunshik, you can't do that. You can't get sassy with it and then float up in the head voice like that. That's not fair. That's illegal. Interesting choice of kind of like a lack of an instrumental part. Well, that was out there. That was an in-your-face verse from Peniel. But yeah, this song, it's kind of interesting, like, so far on this album that you can tell what songs are produced by who, based on what type of song it's going with. Like, Minhyuk is definitely going with the more engineered synth-heavy sound, while the Hyunshik pieces are definitely more acoustic-based. I think that's a nice distinction, and it's really nice that they have both to fall back on. There's a little psychology lesson in this one too that we'll talk about once the song's over. There he is. Sojay. Lord almighty. Yeah, very clear style switch now that we've got a different lead composer now. That's really cool that they're kind of like keeping the composer's like trademark sound in a way. Like, I don't know if Minhyuk solo stuff is kind of like this, or if this is like the kind of music that Minhyuk prefers to write. Well, actually, I don't really know that, because he wrote one of the Girls' Reverse finale songs, and that song was absolutely spectacular. And that was kind of a synth heavy song, but not like this. This was like borderline a club beat. A little bit too slow to be a club song, but close enough. But, oh, right, psychology lesson. There's a phenomenon called semantic satiation. We talked about this in the video we did on Ives Kitsch, the pre-release. Semantic satiation is essentially when a word is repeated so often or in so many times within like a quick window of time where it just loses the meaning of the word and turns into noise instead. And it's interesting how in this song it does happen, but it only happens kind of like when the artist wants it to. And they're choosing a really good word for it, like in the chorus motif. Sure, here we go. Oh, actually, we can go back a little bit further. Kiss, 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 kiss. Deeper. Kiss, 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 kiss. Deeper. Like, the word kiss is really interesting because it's got two very distinct parts once you actually speak it out loud. It's got the hard K consonant to start it off, and then the rather drawn out S sound, right? Kiss. It's a two-part word. Even though it's one syllable, you can break it apart into two subsections, the K and the S part. By saying it quick enough, with the amount of repetitions they do, what is it, 7 times, 6 times? Within such a short window of time, once it does lose like the meaning of the word, it becomes a percussion part. And I think that's really clever that they chose that word in particular to repeat, because once the semantic satiation kicks in to the listener's brain, it doesn't become in the way of the rest of the song. In fact, it turns into a part of the song now. And so even though like the word might have lost meaning, the product of the word being spoken or sung is providing to the rest of the song, and that's really smart composing. Because there are often times where you have a word that's repeated so often that you listen to it and it just kind of turns into noise, and that noise doesn't fit very well with the song. But that percussive element of the word kiss within this song turns it into the perfect percussion part, I think. As we'll go back. Because the S part sounds like a syncopated hi-hat section now. And I think that's really clever, especially because the percussion part in this song isn't too far forward in the mix, especially in the chorus. It's very treble and bass heavy, but not too much in the mids. And it's definitely, like, the percussion part's been mixed a little bit further low and in the back of the mix. So by having the kiss, kiss, kiss repeating, it adds, like, a second hi-hat section. I think that's really neat. Okay, next up, Interlude. Re. Ah, Mr. Hyunshik. I love the way the song is like pulsing. It's kind of like it's like waves going in and out. Because it's like the song very slowly has Nakchalarando towards the middle of the measure, or middle of the phrase, and then a little retardando at the end, like speeding it up just a fraction and then slowing it back down at the end. It kind of feels like a wave going in and out. And same with the volume as well. It's getting louder towards the middle and then it peters off right at the end. One more rit at the end. And then a nice drawn out final chord. Yeah. If this is like a cue to switch up I don't know if like the next song is going to be like a massive switch or if we're going back into like that ballad type. But having an interlude typically means we're on to these like second half of the album and then it's going to be kind of a style switch. The interlude's there to be like a buffering between two songs. So may I'm gonna guess the next song isn't gonna be as like high energy as Whiskey was. But that was really pretty, and yeah, Hyunsuk just understands piano. The way he composes and like the melodies and harmonies he writes in is definitely of someone who understands piano. That's cool. That's really cool. All right. Lonely.
슬픈 노을이 지고 어김없이 짙은 어둠이 날던
Yeah, much needed. I understand why the interlude's there because this is so stylistically different from Whiskey before.
구름에 숨어 날 외면해요 너를 그리다 하루를 끝내고 너를 부르다 꿈에서
Ooh, a little muffled percussion part. Peep the harmony.
더는 자신 없다고 달라질 수 있는 건 없다고 널 떠났지만 I'm so lonely 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 every day I'm so lonely lonely 텅 빈
This chorus is hitting a lot more aggressively than I thought it was going to.
I'm so sorry
Big string element, but also there's like a rock ballad element to this now.
Yeah, baby, I'm so lonely. 아직 내 베개 남긴 네 향기 맡을 때마다
And then again, the instrumental part's back to that muffled element from right at the beginning of the song.
I'm contemplating 나 변할 수 있다고 하는 말 솔직히 말하면 다 거짓말인가 하나 근데 나도 믿고 싶어 네가 너무 보고 싶어 너를 그리다
I didn't even clock that Peniel got melodic there at the very end. Oh my. It's little details like that with the rap parts in this group where it just so seamlessly flips back into that melodicness and you don't really notice it. I'm so lonely, lonely, lonely every day. I'm so lonely, lonely. Yeah, this is a fairly aggressive chorus for a ballad. Like, really accentuated bow strokes on the shoulder strings. There's the vibrato. Ooh, held that note for a lot longer than I thought he would. Nice re-entry.
엔딩 속의 주인공 우리가 되지 Baby I'm so sorry 난 아직 널 못 잊어 baby 돌아와줘 처음
That motif that's kind of like scattered throughout the ends of the chorus in this song is really pretty. It's a nice melody. Wow. Yeah, lots of lots of elements where individually you typically wouldn't see, I feel like, on a pop ballad like this. It's a tried and true pop ballad sound at the end of the day, but it's using elements that is very like out there, I think. Like the rather aggressive accentuated quarter note string section, the introduction of almost like a rock type of feel once we get into the chorus. The muffled effect I think is really nice because talking about an emotion like human loneliness or like human isolation, I think it's one of those things where you do kind of, once you're left to your own devices, you kind of like get stuck in that mental place, that mental hole, and that does feel like kind of like a dark pit. And the way that they've muffled the instrumentals in the background kind of does like portray that mental state, I think, really well. But man, that I want to listen to that chorus again, actually. That's the bridge. Yeah, the string section in the background is busy. Like, this is a busy bridge. Cut it. Lead it in with vocals only. Really broad violin, shoulder strings. And then bring back the almost like staccato-ness. Yeah, and that nice way to end that. Ooh. That one was like, compositionally, that one was complex. Probably, I think, the most complex song on the album so far in terms of like the composition side of it. Very nice indeed. Dance with me. Oh, this mix is throwing me off because it sounds like the way they're playing it and that way it was mixed, it sounded like both guitars, it might have been one part doubled up, but it sounded like they were playing right next to my ears. That was weird. Interesting, very subtle string section. Now the acoustic guitar is in the middle in the mix instead of on both sides. Minhyuk, when he's rapping and it gets like energy behind it, has got a very nice sass to his tone. Like, you can feel like the grunt he's putting in and like the power he's putting into the rap verse. Nice run. Guys, they've added an electric guitar, but I like that they're still keeping that acoustic guitar in the background. Stupid vocal runs, man. They're so good. They're so clean. Nice build. The song doesn't ever lose its energy, and I think that's really nice, especially for a song that is about, you know, like, about dancing with, like, dance partner kind of way.
Move to the beat. 눈을 감고 feel the heat. 음악의 몸을 맡겨 move to the beat. 눈을 감고 feel the heat. 음악의 몸을 맡겨.
Oh, combine some pizzicato shoulder strings with bowed shoulder strings. Big riser. And then straight into the chorus drop. Oh, Hyunjik with the run. Nice drawn out outro at the end too. Nicely done. That one, again, very different energy, but I like it. I like the fact that once the song started, you don't get a break until you finish the song. And where it's like the song will just continually keep driving forward on its own. I like that about, especially on a song like this where like the beat is so important. The fact that even once we got to the bridge, the song never let up. That's key for a song like this, and I think that it's executed really well. Interesting mixing stuff too, especially just that very beginning with the guitars. It almost, like, I'm pretty close to being entirely convinced that it's two separate guitars on both left and right channels. It very well could be the same guitar part, just dubbed over, or like split on both channels and then played at the same time. Either that or it's just been offset just enough where it sounds like two different instruments, but it genuinely does sound like two separate instruments. And I like the fact that even on a fairly kind of like aggressive song like this, the main instrument throughout the entire song is that acoustic guitar. The acoustic guitar has an element of percussiveness to it when it's being played. So that strum, like, so you've got your main strum, and because it's not a nylon, it's a steel strum guitar, when you strum on it, there is that like sound of whatever you're picking with, whether it be your thumb or like an actual guitar pick, skimming across the metal strings. There's that element of the percussiveness to it, but also like the kind of like palm muted little like scratching they're doing on guitar also is like another form of percussiveness, and it's adding that percussion section element to the song without needing an actual percussion part. Yes, they have one in the end, but having and keeping that acoustic guitar element throughout the song provides that extra layer of depth to it. And for a group that does like depth of certain parts of their songs, really, like when they stack vocal harmonies, they stack it 2, 3, 4 deep, right? Why not do the same thing with the instrumental part? So you've got your shoulder strings being stacked where you have like the pizzicato part where it's being plucked, and then you have the nice bowed string section. You have, when you have the guitar, you have the acoustic guitar as well as an electric, like a pretty clean sounding electric guitar layered on top of each other. Why not do the same thing in the percussion section? You have a drum kit, sure. Add a second element of percussion by string guitar and by acoustic guitar and having palm muted like ghost drums in a way. Why not, right? And it's just kind of like dancing is like the harmony of more than one or more people doing same moves or like similar moves that's providing and contributing to just one final big performance. This song is doing exactly that. That's really smart. Shout out the composition team. Shout out Hyunsuk one time. Okay. Higher. We're back to this song. I love this song.
Don't stop.
This song has no business going this hard.
Keep pushing, move onward, keep moving, go higher, yeah. We're gonna go
And I love that we get to hear high vocal Mihyuk on the song too. I'm noticing through this album that Sungjae, when he puts some soul behind it, really gets into it. That little slide up he does. I love that synth. Synth part, it could just be like a synth saxophone, but... Oh, and the very subtle rocker growl that Hyunshik gets on that little slide up.
Haters always be talking. 누가 뭐라 해도 I don't give a yeah. 알아서 잘할 테니 go and suck yeah. 욕하는 놈들 they're my greatest motivation. 덕분에 편하게 살고 있네. Never gonna stop and going up. 위로 올라가는 못 말려. Higher and higher 같이 올라가 yeah. No there's 내려올 생각이 없어. I'll be a star.
This lead-in is absolutely perfect. It's so in your face, but it's so subtle. That's such a dumb 4-part harmony. It's so high. Appropriately kind of. And boy, is this final section of the song so in your face. I remember back when I was in like chamber choir, our teacher hated whenever we had slides because he was under the impression, or like, this is kind of like old-fashioned chamber choir mentality, but sliding into the note was kind of a sign that you didn't know what note you were singing. That's like the classical thing of it, where is if you're going to sing a note, you need to get it perfectly on the right note every single time. Because in chamber choir, there really is no room for like little like ambiguity of like the in-between notes, like say sliding up and down. That's definitely a more modern thing that's come into vocal parts, is a little slide. It's like you have your kind of like jazzy, your ballroom influence, kind of like your, you know, roaring 20s kind of vibe, where you start hearing in vocal parts sliding and it becoming like fashionably and okay to slide into certain notes. But my god, do BTOB absolutely own the little slides they do in this song, because it's like it's there with a purpose, and the amount of energy and effort they put into each of those slides makes it, you feel every single slide, especially like Hyunshik once he gets the, this is gonna be so hard to find, maybe not. The fact that like he's singing like, you know, normal Hyunshik voice right at the beginning, but once he initiates the slide, he gets this rocker growl behind, and it is the most like spine-chilling sensation for me, for like, well, apart from that just absolutely dumb 4-part harmony, I mean that in a good way, but apart from that, this Hyunshik growl he puts in, yeah, that's nuts. And I want that 4-part harmony. Where is it? I think what's nuts about that 4-part harmony is that Eunwon's held note is high. But I'm pretty sure there's 2 higher voices above that. That's dumb. That's so high. That's so stupidly high. Oh my gosh. Okay. I've already listened to this song. Why am I getting hung up on it? Okay. Next song. Thank you. Also, congratulations on an hour. Hope you're still alive. Make sure you're staying hydrated. I like the kind of, it's not a Hammond organ, but it's a synth very similar to it. It's a nice touch. Little bit of jazzy piano in the background.
얼굴을 붉히고 화를 내기엔 남을 미워하고 맘쓰기엔 인생은 너무 짧아 행복하기만도 모자라
Yeah, I like that.
돌아볼 그 맘의 여유를 안고 사는 건 나에게 하는 약속 세상의 모든 것들 언제나 날 믿어주고 알아주는 그대도 말없이 꽉 안아주는 그래도 thank you 살아간대 난 감사해
Oh, this isn't in your face second chorus. Oh, give me the breast sections. Oh, yes. I love the brassiness of this song. Emphasize the vocals on the second verse. Yeah, this is spectacular already. It's jazz fusion, but not jazz fusion the genre.
지금 이 노래를 부르매 모든 순간이 빛나진 않지 인생은 할수록 어려운 닥쳐걸래 그저 감사해
What an interesting lyric. Life is a dark chocolate. Becomes harder to understand the more I learn about it. I definitely butchered some of the words in there, but the message is still the same. Yeah, Sunjae, once he puts some soul into his voice, he's just, ooh.
Thank you for everything. 살아가네 오늘도
Oh, what a cool touch. The late re-entry of the instrumental part. Nice drum fill. Alright, Minhyuk, you can do a little bit of piano work. Okay. That was cool. I am a little bit of a sucker for a good jazz piece. That was definitely jazzy. The brass sections in that song. The chorus, once the brass kicks in, ooh, it's really nice. I think The song itself isn't inherently just like 100% jazz, and it really doesn't listen like a jazz song, but it gives the jazzy vibes, and I like the jazz vibes behind it. I want to listen to... Where's chorus number 2? It's probably around here, isn't it? There we go. It's using some really complex chords. Chords that I feel like, you know, there's a Japanese group called Official Hikedantism. And they have a song called I Love. Which, admittedly, it's not as brassy as this. The chorus, I think, might be a little bit more brassy than this, but the overall song isn't as brassy as Thank You by BTOB. But they're both very similar songs in terms of vibes. If you haven't listened to that song, I highly recommend it because it's a tremendous song. It's one of my favorite Japanese songs to exist right now. But it listens very similarly to BTOB's Thank You. Just kind of the way the song flows and just that kind of like meaningful message it has. Like they're both meaningful, but they're both like positive human emotion. I really like that. I also want to find that Dark Chocolate again. Yeah, life is a dark chocolate that becomes more difficult the more I understand it. What a lyric. Dark chocolate is a very complex food item. I will give it that. Very complex. Chocolate in general is a very complex food item. Not all moments are bright and shiny. Life is a dark chocolate that becomes more difficult the more I understand it. Wow. What a lyric. Oh, and that little brass set. Oh, I love a good brass section. So good. Alright, next song. It's All Good. Second penultimate song. Okay. We got a rock ballad in our hands here. Actually, it might... It's too quick to be a rock ballad, but same vibes. Also, 4.5 minutes, my gosh. Oh man, but this is like, this is peak 1980s, like, light ballad vibes for sure. Heavy on the snare. Oh! Now this is my type of ballad right here. And again, such a smooth transition into the rap verse. And then such a nice transition back into the vocals. Oh. Da, 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 da. that head voice flip up and then back down to chest voice is so smooth both times, both with Yoonshik and with Sungjae. Unbelievable. Oh, and this little post-chorus. Ooh, taking up the energy into the bridge. I'm getting some of the electric guitar involved now. And the song isn't letting up, it's continuously going. Man, this song is still going. It's not letting up at all. And of course, final chorus has to be different. Eunkwang, stop it. Leave some vocal talent for us. Oh my goodness. Look, there have been B-sides on this album I have absolutely adored. Like, well, let me actually pull up the entire... Like, we checked out Blooming Day way back in the day. That was really good. Be Together, that like very wedding vibe song, very much enjoyed that. Of course, you know how much I love Higher, but It's All Good might take the cake for B-side of the album for me. This song is just absolutely gorgeous, and it's everything I want from a rock ballad. All the vocals are so smooth, the rap sections are so smooth. All the song just builds, and like essentially after that first chorus and post-chorus, and once we get into the rap verse with Peniel, it's essentially one long build from Peniel all the way to the end of the song. And it just, oh, it doesn't, like, I think it's the longest song on the album by 8 seconds over Be Together. But it doesn't feel like 4.5 minutes. And at no point does it ever feel like the song is like dragging or it feels like it's overly repetitive. It's just a really good ballad. And just, I could say this for every single song, but the message behind the lyrics for all the BTOB songs are just so powerful and so special. Because it is extremely comforting, regardless of like what the song really is about. The lyrics are comforting. Like, even if it is a song about where the lyrics are about something like you're alone, like isolation, it still doesn't come across as like an angsty, depressive song at all. And just when they give you like feel good music, they really hammer home that it's a feel good song in every single aspect, and that's so good and it's so strong. Wow, It's All Good. What a tune this was. And finally, the final song, outro, Encore. Here we go.
눈부신 조명이 하나둘씩 어두워지고 커다란 나는 다시 작아져 비좁은 마음에 받은 사랑이 가득해서 두려워지나 봐 두 눈에 타오르는
I'm liking this dramatic pre-chorus. What a grandiose chorus. And then take it back down for the rap verse.
다시 한 번 더 크게 목청 그 소리 높여 더 큰 사랑을 불러 영원히 끝나지 않을 귓가에 맴도는 익숙한 선율이 마음속에 여전히 남아있어 너의 소리로.
Man, the way the drums really pick up that pre-chorus. Get a little bit of electric guitar now in the chorus. Getting some shoulder strings in there as well.
I'm here for you, and I know you're here for me too.
Acoustic piano and acoustic guitar.
I know, trust me, I know. 다 알아, around the world 어딘가에서 어떻게든 응원해주고.
Really like that this rap verse almost feels like a narration rather than a rap verse.
Because 내가 노래하는 이유, it's you.
Oh, and a very like almost naked instrumental part because you don't have the full instrumental part yet. It's just a big broad hit so far. There we go. Nah. Okay, we'll turn that off. Nah, that's wild. Holy smokes, you know what? Give it to me again. Oh my god, that is something special. That is something special. What an outro. When I saw, like, when I was getting this set up that there was an outro, I didn't look at how long it was. I just expected it to be, like, kind of like what the intro was, you know, a nice little, like, 1 minute instrumental piece to finish it off. But no, what a powerful outro that was. Like, that was less of a song and that was more like a spiritual experience. Whoa, that is a strong outro to an album. Like, Dance With Me and Higher were two very good energy songs, but Thank You, followed by It's All Good, followed by outro Encore, that is a spectacular run of 3 songs to finish an album, especially an album that's this long and this intense. Whoa. It's... What a chorus in a song needs to do is one of two things. It needs to be identifiable as the chorus in that it is kind of like the killing part of the song, one. And two, it needs to make an impact on the listener. Now, some artists, well, not as common as option one, decide to take option two in making impact by taking the anti-drop route. Now, I can try and explain how anti-drops create an impact and all that, and it's ultimately comes down to musical juxtaposition or creating contrasts. By doing an anti-drop, you're what is it? Subverting expectations. So the song works so hard, had a nice long build up, and then once we hit the chorus, instead of letting that energy flourish or like shine or explode or whatever you might want to use for that metaphor, you take away all the energy and you drop it really low. Then you trap that energy, for maybe a later release, or maybe just trap that for the next chorus. You take the anti-drop, you don't get a release, and then you go straight into the next verse. What outro Encore does is it takes that flourish idea of constant build, constant build, constant build, and then into that big flourish of the chorus, and essentially takes it to the stratosphere with it. Like, the flourish you get on that chorus, in fact, oh, this is going to be tricky to find, I think. It's just such a grand and majestic chorus that it's entirely predictable with how the song progresses. Like, this is the only direction this song could possibly go. But it still blows expectations out of the water because of how just grand this chorus is. And, like, here's us thinking, oh, this is such a pretty chorus. It flourishes so nicely. The vocals are absolutely tremendous. But then you make it to the final chorus, and it's just like, if this is the chorus in its normal state, and like this is like our immediate universe, the final chorus takes you to like the unknowns of space, like in the far corners of space that humans haven't discovered yet. It's that majestic. Can I just say that if you're still here, props to you, because we're very quickly coming up to 90 minutes of just talking about this album. And actually, let me check very quickly, because I'm pretty sure this is the longest album I think we've ever checked out on the channel. Because I'm trying to think, Yesung's Sensory Flows album was 10 songs, and then Onu's Circle was 10 songs. Yeah. 13 songs, was it? 13 songs. The bad thing is, I really enjoyed all 13. And here's the thing. Had I checked this album out in its entirety when it dropped last year, this very well would have made my top 10 albums of the year list last year. And I feel so bad because I didn't listen to it last year. Because I listened to the title track and I really liked the title track. But this was something special. I'm entirely convinced of just how talented BTOB are. I've been known that BTOB are mega talented, but I've never been able to experience them like this before. And my God, is this special. This was, wow. I'm like lost for words. So fun. Today's been a good day. Today's been a really good day. Man. Y'all melodies have it really nice over there in your camp. Man, the music is good. Thank you for continuing to prod me to check this out. I know I'm recording this on Wednesday and this won't be out for a few days, but I had so much fun. This was unbelievable fun. And if you're still watching along, thank you for staying with me for this long. Thank you for supporting your group, being vocal about your group. Thank you to all of you in the comments on the previous B2B videos for just like telling me more about the group. I don't know when I'm going to get to like more albums from them because time. I know people have recommended Minhyuk's like boom era stuff, but I just don't know when I'm going to be able to squeeze in more stuff by them because there's so many groups I want to check out. But for what it's worth, this Be Together album was magic, and I'm so happy. But that's it for me today. Thank you all for watching along. If this survived YouTube copyright and you want to see more, channel icon is up there. You can find the back catalog of stuff watched in the past. Drop a subscription if you want to keep up to date with whenever I upload new videos. And if you want to watch another video of mine right away, YouTube recommends you watch that video down there. And until next time, Melodies, bye-bye.